The hammer stops 1 inch from your helmet, and your knees immediately stop working. This steel shell should protect your head, horses, and other expensive mistakes. Unfortunately, nobody in the workshop knows whether this particular helmet actually works yet. Master Conrad orders you to stand still, as though terror were simply bad posture.
His voice sounds distant through the visor, but the hammer looks extremely close. Then it lands, turning the helmet into a bell with your skull inside. The steel survives. You survive too, although your thoughts briefly leave Augsburg without you. This is how you learn that testing armor is different from admiring it. Months earlier, you entered Augsburg seeking respectable work and preferably fewer armed men. Its famous armor workshops looked warm, wealthy, and safely distant from every battlefield. Knights could chase glory outside, while sensible craftsmen remained indoors beside comfortable fires. You imagined learning a prestigious trade while keeping your limbs professionally unpunctured. Master Conrad inspected your hands, shoulders, and willingness to accept almost any employment. He hired you for charcoal, polishing, sweeping, and carrying objects heavier than hope. The work was miserable, but nobody attacked you, so it felt unusually generous. Then, a wealthy young knight ordered a custom harness bright enough to shame sunlight. Sir Ulrich supplied measurements but refused to spend weeks posing inside a smoky workshop. Conrad studied the knight's height, studied yours, and smiled in an unhelpful way. You matched almost perfectly, ignoring wealth, confidence, and your complete absence of horses. Congratulations! You were promoted from apprentice to reusable nobleman-shaped measuring tool. First came a padded doublet thick enough to make summer personally offensive. Then unfinished plates were strapped around your legs from ankle to thigh. One loose greave rotated sideways, making your shin appear to escape through a door. The corrected strap stopped that problem by introducing your ankle to complete numbness. When you bent your knee, a metal edge pinched the skin behind it. You shouted. Conrad marked the spot with chalk and called the fitting productive. The plate visited the anvil, received several blows, and returned slightly less hostile. Now the knee bent smoothly because craftsmanship improves when someone else supplies pain. More steel climbed your body, hips, chest, shoulders, arms, hands, and doubtful head. The breastplate protected your ribs, except for one rivet drilling into your side. Conrad tightened 3 other straps, distributing the misery more professionally across your torso. Apparently, balanced suffering separates fine armor from ordinary metal clothing. Steel gauntlets made your fingers nearly invincible and completely useless. You dropped a buckle and spent 1 full minute attacking the floor. Nobody helped because losing a duel against hardware counted as valuable research. Then the helmet closed, leaving 2 narrow eye slits and your own breath. Standing still was insufficient. Sir Ulrich had paid for armor that could move. Conrad ordered you across the workshop, while everyone studied your articulated joints. 2 thigh plates collided, turning your first step into negotiations with gravity. After adjustments, you faced a staircase, wearing several thousand coins of polished inconvenience. You could not see your feet, the steps, or a bucket below you. Each stair became an act of faith inside an expensive cooking pot. At the top, Conrad ordered you to kneel, rise, turn, and repeat. Kneeling worked. Rising required 2 attempts, a bench, and language unsuitable for church. Next came the fall test, because owners sometimes stop being upright unexpectedly. You dropped backward onto padding, striking like a cupboard thrown from a tower. The armor stayed aligned. Your pride became the only visibly damaged component. Getting up proved protection and dignity are rarely available at the same time. Movement was half the problem. Weapons preferred gaps armor could not cover. A journeyman approached with a wooden sword and the confidence of an unarmored man. He probed your elbows, knees, neck, and every opening near something important. The point slid beneath one shoulder plate, making the entire workshop suddenly attentive. You noticed earlier, roughly when the wooden sword introduced itself to your armpit. The shoulder was reheated, reshaped, polished, and strapped onto you again. A padded pole struck the joint, twisting you sideways without exposing the gap. Success inspired Conrad to close your visor and bring out the enormous hammer. The helmet held, your ears rang, and the workshop gained tremendous confidence. Before the ringing stopped, Sir Ulrich arrived to inspect his magnificent new armor. He admired the steel, elegant ridges, and terrified apprentice trapped inside everything. Conrad ordered you to swing a wooden sword and demonstrate improved movement.
You raised it, staggered, recovered, and received applause intended mostly for the armor. Then Sir Ulrich asked whether his expensive harness worked properly on horseback. Nobody suggested testing it with the person who owned both armor and horse. 3 men carried you outside while the waiting animal judged everyone involved.
The saddle fought the thigh plates, spreading your legs like an armored frog. You slid sideways, grabbed the mane, and learned dignity provides almost no grip. Sir Ulrich then demanded proof against one of the frightening new firearms. Everyone looked at you, and your soul immediately began packing for departure.
Fortunately, even Conrad considered shooting an occupied apprentice unnecessarily expensive. The breastplate was removed and fixed against a heavy wooden support. A gunner fired, smoke swallowed the yard, and every workshop window jumped. The ball left a deep proof dent, but failed to pierce the steel.
The mark increased the armor's value while you enjoyed remaining unattached to it. The finished harness was polished, delivered, and praised as Conrad's finest work. Days later, Sir Ulrich returned from a tournament with another enormous breastplate dent. The armor had stopped a powerful impact, and the knight was delighted. Conrad admired the damage like an artist seeing his masterpiece finally appreciated. You realized every pinch, fall, and ringing blow had helped save another man. Nobody praised you. Survival merely made you the workshop's most reliable fitting model. Tomorrow begins heavier tournament armor, and Conrad is already raising another hammer.